Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. So you may notice that this looks a wee bit different, this is because this is actually my TW account. I hadn't played it for quite a while, but I've gone back to playing it because I pretty much don't play my free-to-play global account anymore, and I kind of wanted to, so I thought to myself, do you know what, I'm just going to start playing on TW as a free-to-play because I can't purchase anything over there anyway, and see how I get on. But when I recently put out a video talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I will link up above if you want to check that out. Wait to the end of the video though, because it's not good when you click off of videos, YouTube doesn't like it. One thing people were saying quite a lot is, I don't want these collabs, I want Street Fighter characters. We don't have Street Fighter characters, there's loads that we're still expecting and we don't have them. So I wanted to go in and show you guys what we're still waiting on. What's outstanding and basically what we can expect in the pipeline. And to be honest guys, there's really not as much as you might think, so let's go and have a look. Right, so we're going to here. My box is very underdeveloped, but you'll notice there's some characters that you probably haven't seen, so we're not going to focus on that. We're just going to look at vanilla characters, and what I mean by vanilla characters is non-variants, okay? So unique characters who we do not yet have. So that's not going to include things like Yakuza guy, right? It's going to be talking about pure characters in their base form, okay? So straight off the bat, you guys need to realise something. A lot of you will know this already, but some of you don't. This game is not actually a Street Fighter gacha. This game is specifically a Street Fighter 4 gacha. So it is, the license is not for the entire Street Fighter universe. The license is only for Street Fighter 4. So that is where the characters in this game are going to come from. And the outstanding characters that we are still waiting on, and one of them is just about to drop, is Gouken. So we're going to get Gouken coming to the game soon. The things that I don't expect to change about Gouken is probably the stuff down here, like the fact that he's a shield and stuff. I don't really expect that to change. His kit, however, they'll probably make it busted, right? That's just what they're doing these days. Now I don't read Taiwanese, so all I can probably say is these things here, any percentages, I would probably expect them to go up. You know, again, you guys don't read Taiwanese either, but things like this, I'd probably expect it to maybe be 910 or 1000 or whatever, because that's pretty much what they tend to be doing with units these days. So Gouken, we knew we were getting him. He is the first non-variant character that is due to drop in the game that we have outstanding, right? Next up, and this is the order that I would probably expect us to receive these in as well, we have Balrog. Everyone knew we were going to get Balrog. Ignore the fact it says Bison, it's a whole thing, discussed that before in another video. We'd expect to get Balrog in the game, I reckon probably just after Gen, to be honest. I think he'll be the character that drops just after Gen, and he will be obviously an Inferno class unit. I do not expect that to change either, and he is another character who you can expect to come along in the game fairly soon, so your Street Fighter needs are starting to be met. Then maybe a little bit later, I don't think he'll be too soon, I don't think he'll be straight after Balrog or anything like that. We have got Seth. Seth is another one that's still to be added to the game, so we're up to 3, right? Seth is coming and he will be added to the game at a future date. So when it comes to people who want Street Fighter characters to be added, that's us up to 3. Now this is where things get a little bit dicey, shall we say. We move down through this list, we're going to get something, and you'll notice that I never clicked anything because I missed them. El Fuerte. El Fuerte, he is a factional unit and he should be added to the game. Will they change him to make his class different from a factional? I don't think so. I don't think El Fuerte is a popular enough character for them to decide to make him a master. I don't think that will happen. I think he will stay part of the Wind class. So that takes us up to 4. 4. Just to reiterate, we've got Gen, Balrog, Seth, and El Fuerte. That's it. Just to make you guys aware, for non-variant characters, that is it. We're not getting any more. If we happen to get any other Street Fighter characters, they will be specially licensed, okay? They will be maybe classed as a collab because this license is for Street Fighter 4. At a stretch, we can maybe say you could maybe possibly include Strongest Dan. The only reason I say we would maybe include Strongest Dan, you can tell me what you think. I would class this as a variant because we have Dan. However, we have Dan as a B unit. This is not going to be a B unit, so this will be the first Dan that's in the game who can go to SSS. I think I'd give him a pass and say 5. So like if they take a unit that has only previously been available in like an B rank and then they bring out their first A rank version of that unit, I think we can give that a pass and say that would count, right, as not a variant, although clearly it is a variant, but you know what I'm saying, right? So if we let Dan slip in there, we've got 5, right, that are still coming. Now don't worry, I mean that doesn't mean that there's only 5 more units to come in the game, because obviously if we go through here, I'm not going to go through these in great detail, but we've got a variant for Sagat, a variant for DiCapri, a variant for Jury, a variant for Balrog, we've got a variant for Chun-Li still to come, the Wind one, who hopefully they leave being Wind. We've got a variant for Abel, we've got a variant for Yun, who might actually be out soon. We've got a variant for Ken, and we've also got a variant for Guy, so that's us up to 9. We've got a variant for Balrog or Vega. I mean, it says Balrog here, but you know what I mean, that's the name change thing. They're a dual character, interestingly enough. Got a variant for them. We've also got a variant for Honda. We've got a variant for Adon. Forgot his name for a second there, despite having the character. I'm not going to count Dan. So, I mean, if we count additional variants that are coming, we've got an additional 12, and that isn't looking at things like legendary units. And I believe there is some seasonal units who are not listed here. Like there is a seasonal Rufus, I think he's like Rudolph Rufus or something like that. There is another Sakura, she's kind of, I don't know if she's Yakuza or she's evil or something, but I've used her image before in a thumbnail and she's like throwing a stick of dynamite. So there is some other units that don't appear here, and it's possibly because they're limited time and they don't show up in this character selection thing. So there is still like characters to come, don't get me wrong, but there's only 4 unique characters still to come. So if you're someone who is like holding out for units like, trying to think off the top of my head, who Mika, stuff like that, you know, it's not going to happen unless they get some kind of collab license where they can introduce characters from maybe Alpha 3 or Street Fighter 3 Third Strike or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I know that you guys as Street Fighter fans would probably enjoy that a bit more than just some random collab. There's a raid going on just now and I can't do it because I know you guys would probably enjoy that a little bit more than just some random collab, bringing units that maybe you have no interest in, maybe you don't care about at all. But unfortunately, unless they sign that deal, we are only looking at getting these 4 additional units that... oh sorry, there was one other variant, there's another Balrog. We're only looking at getting these collabs that... sorry, these units still added to the game because the license is tied to Street Fighter 4 and not Street Fighter as a whole. I think that was an unfortunate choice, possibly, yes, and it's the same worry I have for the new Persona gacha. Don't know if you guys know, there's a Persona gacha coming out, but it's actually not a Persona gacha, it's a Persona 5 gacha, so it's specifically tied to Persona 5, which, if it works anything like this in other games, it means that characters from Persona 1, 2, 3 and 4 are not going to be on the table. I feel like when gacha deals are signed, they should be signed to the entire franchise and not just one specific game within that franchise. Because even if there's one or two characters from earlier games that are super popular, when you tie yourself to just one specific iteration of that franchise, you do not then have access to those other units, you know? I mean, take Street Fighter 6 for example. Right now, Bison's not in it. Bison probably won't be in it if they stick to the lore that they created in Street Fighter 5. So if a gacha game came out about Street Fighter 6, you couldn't have Bison in it as a character, you know? Stuff like that. It's kind of poorly thought out in my opinion. So for those of you who are still waiting on your favourite Street Fighter characters coming, unless it's one of the 4 that I mentioned, you probably shouldn't really expect to see them. Again, this list however is not conclusive, because there is some units that are missing from here, like Oni. He should be down here in the legend section and you can see he's not there. But these characters are usually always like variants of sorts. So again, I don't know exactly who we're not seeing on this list. I know that Rufus, Oni, that Yakuza or whatever it is, Sakura is maybe missing from here, but when it comes to like unique characters who we've not had in the game, it's only really the 4 that I mentioned. Anyone else is pretty much going to be variants like Fashion Bison and stuff like that. So there's still plenty of units to come. It's just maybe if you're holding out for your favourite Street Fighter character of all time, if they weren't in Street Fighter 4, you're not going to get them. Anyway, I've been Hayzink, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.